Snyder Cut be announced tonight? On one hand, yes. On the other hand, probably not. I'd like to say it will be. Personally, I think there's a good chance it will be because I don't think there's a chance that Zack Snyder's going to set up an event like this with such a huge scale of everyone expecting the same thing and everyone will be asking the same thing for him to just say, sorry, it's not happening, or it could happen, or so on and so forth. I just don't think there's any chance of that going down very well. So I think the only way he'll have wanting to do something like this is if he had good news for us. And I truly believe he has got good news for us. Otherwise, I wouldn't be so excited for the event because I am really excited to see what comes out of it. Because for me, it'll be 4 o'clock in the morning. It'll happen, and I'll be asleep by then. So I'll be waking up to rather good news or bad news. And the only good news could be is if it's been announced or he's said keep fighting and it will come eventually. The bad news being it's not coming, simple as that, or it's coming in 10 years, which it's kind of good news, but it's still bad news at the end of the day, isn't it? I think a lot of people are expecting it to be announced tonight, and I think a lot of people are going to be very, very angry if it doesn't get announced tonight because I just can't imagine it not being announced. And I think the fact that it's getting live streamed adds to the fact that it's going to get announced. Jay Lever's made a tweet that says today's an awesome day. And after the last year, all he tweets about, to be honest, is pretty much the Snyder Cut, replying to people about the Snyder Cut and so on and so forth. Ray Fisher did a tweet today that was a quote from BVS, which doesn't really mean anything, but I think Jay Lever's one does mean quite a lot. I think that's quite unbelievable, especially considering he didn't reply to anyone on the comments, and it's on today. And I think if he was going to find out, it'd be today. And I bet he's a special guest tonight, and he got told by Zach today that he's going to be announcing it tonight. And I think if they do announce it tonight, it'll be coming in November, probably. Maybe a surprise announcement of a few months, but I'm probably guessing November, December time, and they're going to release it a home release, and that's all. So Blu-ray, Steelbooks, DVDs, so on and so forth. I'd like him to announce it tonight, but at the same time, if I hype myself up so much, I will be utterly, utterly devastated if it doesn't get announced tonight. I'll be heartbroken because it's too on the nose in my opinion. Zack Snyder, the director's cuts. Come on. There's no way he doesn't know. He knows. He knows what he's doing. He knows. He wouldn't set up such a big gathering for no reason. But then on the other hand, is it too small to be announced in this venue? If something was that was going to be announced, would it not be better to give it to a journalist first for them to hype it up? Give it to some news article to then get it spread around, or to come from Warner Brothers' mouths themselves, or drop a trailer on YouTube? Would a Snyder event be the best place to announce it? I don't know. I really don't know. I'd like to think it's the perfect place to announce it, but from a business standpoint, no. But at the end of the day, if it does get announced, all the news articles are going to pick it up, and it's going to get spread about anyway. So, I'm not too sure. All I can say is keep your hope up. Have faith. Believe in Snyder. I don't think he'd set up an event like this to let us all down. I'll be really upset with him tonight tomorrow morning if I wake up and he's rather acknowledged that it doesn't exist or it's not coming or so on and so forth. But if I wake up and he's announced it, we won. We have won. And that means we've got our cut. That means Zack Snyder's got his vision released, which will be really exciting. Finally getting to see a Justice League that wasn't absolute crap. Thanks, Joss. Yeah. All I can suggest is hope, pray, and beg. Beg God to give us the Snyder Cut. And if tonight ends and we haven't heard anything, I don't know. I think this is his chance, and this is his only chance. And no matter what, something's getting said. If it literally is, sorry, it's not happening, and he moves on, that's I'm done. Like, that'll be the end of it for me. The only way I'll be keeping the fight is if he comes out and says, "Oh, it could come." Um, Everyone fighting for it has gave Warner Brothers the idea of maybe releasing it. So thank you. Keep fighting the good fight, and hopefully the Snyder Cut will be released eventually. Then yeah, happily I will very very happily keep fighting. But if he comes out and he just says sorry, it's not happening, or whatever, anything negative, and then just moves on, then yeah, then that'll be it. That'll be the fight over. I think there's not much else we can do unless we charged Warner Brothers and demanded it. But yeah, I think that's all. That's all we can do is hope that tonight it gets announced, and even if it doesn't get announced, this event's going to be superb because he's going to get asked about the BVS 4 hour cut. He's going to get asked about Man of Steel, whether there was a director's cut of Man of Steel, which would be exciting to know. He's going to get a lot of questions that we've all been wanting to know. And Zack Snyder was never one for like being in the forefront of interviews, talking about countless things. Like, we didn't even get a commentary on BVS, which would have been outstanding. And there's a lot that has went unanswered, and he's a quiet chap, so it will be exciting. And hopefully tonight we get a lot of news about Army of the Dead 2, which I'm very excited for, and maybe any other tidbits of films he's got coming, such as The Fountainhead. So yeah, just keep hoping tonight. Share things on Twitter, share things on Vero. Make sure a boss sees it. Yeah, and hopefully it gets announced tonight. Yeah. If anyone who's gone, I hope you have an absolutely marvellous time. I'll be watching it live stream tomorrow. Well, across the weekend, all 3 events. I'll be watching the full things, and hopefully we find out a lot of information we didn't know previously. Right. Thank you very much, guys. Keep your faith.